Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Annalisa and this is going to be a video review of Subnautica, which is a game that I've really been enjoying lately. I've played it for about 35 hours and I had a mostly good experience with it. So in Subnautica, you spend a lot of time under the water. It is set on, as far as we can tell, a water world where there is not that much land. There are 2 islands that you can get to in the game, and they're both pretty small compared to the amount of water around them. The idea of the game is that you have been on a ship that was supposed to come and build a space gate near this planet, but for some reason, I'm not actually sure why, it crash lands and you end up being the only survivor. There are a few other survivors right away, but they end up not being able to hack it on this planet, usually because something goes wrong with their life pod, and yours is the only life pod that made it through almost completely as it was supposed to. And you discover how the various other people who survived the initial crash ended up not making it as you follow radio signals through the game. You have to figure out how to survive on this planet and how to hopefully get off this planet, because there's no other people here. It's not really a great place to live permanently. And so you start in what are called the safe shallows, which are really beautiful to look at and have lots of food and water, freshwater sources. And then when you go out a little bit from that, you discover it goes a little deeper. And I was very scared of this slightly deeper spot at first because it's pretty dark even in the daytime. But you're usually still able to navigate even in the daytime, and this is the first encounter you have with a hostile creature. But once I learned that it can't do very much damage to me, I wasn't very scared anymore. But it was a very scary early game for me because I apparently have thalassophobia. It's very immersive. That's definitely something I found. When my character, it is from a first person's perspective, was in danger, I felt anxious, very much so, even though I'm supposed to be playing a game for fun. I was eventually able to kind of get over that. As you can see from some of the footage, I do go into a dangerous area in this footage, and I'm not too scared, basically because I have purposely de-immersed myself, and so I basically know that it's okay if my character dies as long as the stuff that I've crafted doesn't go away, because I was playing in survival mode, and in that mode, when you die, if you lose what you're carrying, except you don't lose any tools that you're carrying, so you don't have to rebuild your tools. But if your, say, water ship that you've built gets destroyed, you have to rebuild it. So I was actually more comfortable swimming around without my exosuit or my ship than I was with my ship. I was very protective of my ships and exosuit. And then as the game progresses, you get radio signals from farther away from the safe shallows and also deeper down, and you realize that in order to cure the disease that you found out you have to go deeper and deeper. And in order to get off the planet, you also have to go deeper and deeper and find that cure, because until you are cured, you can't turn off the alien laser that will shoot down any spaceship that you build. So that was the part that I didn't find fun. I really like playing in the shallows and the kelp forest and the red grassy plains. Those are all fun areas. Even the mushroom areas are pretty fun. But having that anxiety all the time whenever I was in an area where my water ship could get destroyed wasn't fun for me. It is definitely part of the experience, and I think that you should play in survival mode first to kind of figure out if you like that, because it's meant to be part of the experience, and a lot of people like that feeling. hence the popularity of the game. But don't feel bad if you find out that you don't like that part of the game and you want to just play around in the shallows and build stuff, because another part of the game is base building, and you don't have to build all that much base to beat the game in survival mode, but it's fun to build base and have this kind of like fantasy where you more role play as this character and are like pretending you could live on this planet forever and build this really nice life for yourself. That is also an aspect of the game that's really fun, and you can play that in creative mode, building bases and swimming around, and looking at all the pretty landscapes that they've programmed into this game, because there's lots of pretty landscapes. I did end up using cheats. I don't have anything against using cheats, except if it makes the game not fun. And if I had used them for the first 3/4 of the game, it would have made the game not as fun. But once I got to that point, you kind of have to do a lot of repetitive stuff in the danger zones and keep going back to the danger zones. That was just not fun for me, so I used cheats to beat the game and find out how it ended. And so because of that, I ended up having fun. Another thing that I don't like about the main game that you progress through is that I had to use walkthroughs a lot. I prefer a game that has enough tutorial or in-game information that you don't have to use walkthroughs, outside of the game walkthroughs. And like, there are definitely clues that you could use to try to find stuff, but that would include dying a lot and having to repeat things a lot and look around in dangerous areas a lot. And I didn't have either the patience or the wanting to be anxious all the time enough to do those things. So I used walkthroughs a lot to find out where I was supposed to go next, and also to find out where to find blueprints for pieces of equipment that I needed. But because you can kind of make of the game what you want, and you have creative mode, or you can just not progress the game and play around in the shallows, I think it's really fun even for people who have different tastes and want to do that instead of the progressing of the game. I would give it 4 stars. I had a lot of fun. Now I'm going to show you me actually playing the game, and you can get my live reactions. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take you through me exploring a scary place that I haven't been to before in my prawn suit, and I'm gonna kind of show you the experience of some of the scarier parts of the game, so you can kind of see if that's your vibe. First of all, I distinctly remember turning the lights off before I left, but we're gonna turn them off again so that nothing attacks me while I'm gone. And I'm going to go over here, and I'm in the Cyclops right now, fully upgraded and equipped with a prawn suit, and we're going to go explore some of the Lost River and see if we can find any useful minerals and ores and things like that, and also just kind of explore and see what's going on down here. This is always kind of scary. Ooh, I'm dropping. Use my jets a little bit, because clearly I'm higher above the ground than I thought I was. Okay. Now, which way am I going? I think I want to go this way because it looks deeper and darker. And I'm trying to go to the Lost River right now, which is very deep and dark. And I was going to take my Cyclops further down here, but then I saw a, what are they called? A Leviathan. And I was like, I don't want my Cyclops to get eaten by a Leviathan. So I stopped. This appears to be the bulb zone. Where's the Lost River? I got to it recently, so it must be somewhere close. Those lights look right. Again, using my jets so as I don't fall to the floor and wreck my prawn suit. Yeah, this looks right. Ooh, gold! Ah! That was a bone shark. Everything's fine. He only damaged me a little bit. We're gonna go farther in here. Supposedly the prawn suit is one of the best things you can use to explore this area. So, because there's like sludge at the bottom and it will damage your sea moth and yourself, but not your prawn suit. So I'm gonna see what there is to see. And I'm gonna tell you about my scariest experience, which was, what's this? Oh, actually I do need quartz. Ah! What? Okay, it's not damaging me, so I'm just gonna stay here. I was swimming around the Aurora, and I didn't know about reapers, specifically reaper leviathans that are around the Aurora. And I was just like, oh, this is fun. There's so much stuff around here. Of course there is, because I'm swimming around the big ship. So, of course, there's like crash site stuff and things to scan. And I was going around towards the rear of the Leviathan, gradually, not the Leviathan, the Aurora, the big ship, gradually exploring and scanning everything I found. And I came to a sort of a part of the ship that was broken, so there's kind of a hole in it, and I was looking in there, and I was very immersed, and I had a jump scare because a leviathan came at me face first, a reaper leviathan, and I wish I would have recorded it because it was freaking terrifying, and I yelped, and my mom was like, "What's wrong?" And I had to tell her I was scared of a video game. No room for this item. That's terrible. I could go back, or I could dump my gold. I think I'll just explore a little further. Eek! See, these skeletons are a marker of the Lost River, and they are, as you can see here, that is clearly a Reaper Leviathan skull.
Engine powering up.
Yeah, see that shape? Right there? That's a Leviathan. I don't want to mess with that. We're going to go down, 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 and we're going to go back up a little bit. Back it up, 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 back it up. And we're going to go down. Forward.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Oh wow. I think I just killed that thing. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!